Hello, it's day 2 of this 29-day, I call it an adventure, that's brought to you courtesy of Bush House, Nigeria. It's for broadcast on AKBC Radio, TV, and on all major social media platforms. This is a bold and intentional attempt by us to take stock of the past almost 2 years of the Umo Eno administration, and it comes in the form of a series entitled Umo Eno at 2, 29 days, 29 guests. Today on the program is going to be boss will always say politics Nigeriana, but today is going to be politics Akwa Ibom. Politics Akwa Ibom. So we're going to be x-raying the special breed of politics that the Umo Eno era has brought to us. And so if you followed us yesterday, you should have an idea of the fact that this is a 2-hour roller coaster that's intended to deliberately take stock of the past almost 2 years of the Umo Eno administration. For those who followed him when he crisscrossed the length and breadth of the entire state, campaigning for months leading to the 2023 general elections, I'm sure you listened to some of those promises he made to Akwa Ibom people. And almost 2 years down the line, it is only necessary and apt that we take a break and take some inventory, if you like, of the past almost 2 years. It's going to be exactly 2 years in office on the 29th of May 2025, and that would have been halfway half term. I mean halfway half complete tenure, because it's taken for granted that it's going to be doing 8 years. So by the time he clocks 2 years in office, would have done half the number of years that he's meant to spend on his half term on his first term in office. And we'll be looking at by then I'm sure we should be saying that it's 2 down, 6 to go. So today on the program, it's my privilege to be given this opportunity to be the anchor on today's edition of the program. It's day 2, even though we are a bit behind time. It was actually meant to have started on the 1st of this month, so it's day 2 of Umo Eno at 2, albeit 4 days late, but we're still going to ensure. Who knows, as we said yesterday, we might even end up having more than 29 guests. So why not just stay glued to your TV set and listen attentively as we begin this roller coaster ride that will eventually end when the clock strikes 6 p.m. My name is Itoro Kalumba, and I'm super excited to be given this rare honor and privilege to be the anchor on this vintage Bush House, Nigeria, compelling, alluring, and cutting-edge production. And so seated to my right is the boss himself. He decided to, give me this opportunity, and I don't know what I owe him for this, but it's a pleasure to announce that we have in the house the master strategist himself, media entrepreneur extraordinaire, and a builder of 4 men. Those who have turned plenty boys to men and plenty girls to women. Help me welcome Aquarawa Michael Bush.
Fantastic. Very nice to be here with you, Chairman. Very nice. Very nice. Yesterday was good. Today will be fantastic.
Absolutely.
And so it's very, very good. I think we should tee up the program by just saying thank you to Governor Umo Eno for giving us this opportunity. Absolutely. Of course. Thank the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, for the collaboration.
I'm back to the Governor for even giving us some talking points. Enough things to talk about.
Absolutely.
Like yesterday when the Honorable Commissioner was here, we were even telling him, guys, and he was even looking for more time.
Absolutely.
So it's one thing for him to have been governor. It's another for him to have performed, so well enough for us to have ample things and achievement to talk about. And big thumbs up to our governor.
Absolutely. So I'd just like to say thank you to the Honorable Commissioner for information. That's the Honorable Anekan Umana.
Yes.
Is that honorable, right?
Yeah. Okay. Made a second attempt.
We're making progress.
Yes.
Okay. So we also would like to thank a few other Honorable Commissioners, notably the Honorable Commissioner for Housing.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, that's
Dr.
the Right
Henry
Honorable
Achibong?
Dr. Henry Achibong, yeah, for his support. They've supported the program. The Honorable Commissioner for Agri, who by the way, tomorrow is our live studio
Dr.
guest. Dr. Fiong-Ofo, she supported the program. The chairman for Oron, that's Oron Local Government Council, they have also supported us.
Okay.
And we continue to thank those who support the program.
Okay. So just like we did yesterday, today on the program, and this is also a very deliberate and intentional, attempt by the Bush House family to ensure that not only does the family, breed young stars who are going to be taking over from the boss in the next couple of years, but they are also given practical experience, hands-on experience to be a part of that which goes on the show. So joining us today from my far left is Idong Sedna, is of the Michael Bush far left.
Okay,
far left from
you said
my far left.
Okay.
My far left. This is my far left. This is my far left. This is my far left. Yes, like this.
Okay.
This is my far left. This is my far right.
Okay, I didn't make it.
Okay, maybe the far was what caused the confusion.
No, it should have been far right.
Far right. From where I'm seated. My far left.
Okay, so where's your far right?
This is my far right.
Oh.
The guy to the extreme is seated on my far right. Yeah.
Okay, so if you say
this is my right. This is my left.
Okay.
The guy next to him is still on my left.
Okay,
but he's not on the far.
Okay, I get it.
He's not on the
far.
Makes sense. Okay, so now welcome to the program.
Lawson is the registrar of Michael Bush Mentoring Academy. Fantastic gentleman. He comes from Baden local government area, and he's also an author. He's written I think
a number of books.
One. Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. So next to him, Precious Okeje.
It's from Abia State. We call him Prof. When the master.
It looks more like he. When you have people that have the kind of frame he has, then you should suspect they might end up with Prof in future.
Absolutely. So we call him Prof. He was there in my mentoring academy, League 130. League 130 in 2017. I never knew him. Wow. Only for him to be in the same master's degree class with me and say to me, "You are my mentor." I say, "How now?" So it's very nice.
Okay, good to see you. Precious Okeje. How do I get just Okeje? Okay, so and then next to him, we wrote together. Interesting
lady.
That profession, interesting. Very very intelligent lady.
Absolutely. You remember her yesterday?
Yes.
You don't remember her?
No, that's what I said
to the class governor, "I can't do without you. Come back on set. Come and take my seat." And then after the program, they disappeared together with the class governor.
Obama St. Tom.
Absolutely.
Microbiologist, you said?
Very
fantastic. Very proud one at that.
Absolutely.
She will spare no opportunity in telling you who she is.
Absolutely. And she's a member of the Michael Bush Mentoring Academy, class 2025.
Absolutely.
She sits in the front row.
Okay. Okay. All right, so welcome to the show. And then finally we have Danny Lepo.
Yes.
Okay. Your destination at the academy?
Yes, she's class 2025 too.
Okay.
Where from?
Class 2025.
Local government area?
Ukanafun.
Great.
Okay. The great Ukanafun.
Yes. Great.
Where the state chairman of the PDP is?
It comes from.
You're a big time friend.
Absolutely.
It was been in the news of late.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
so what does that even mean? Have
you read what Osondo or Ahirika wrote today?
Well, yes, I tried to read everything Osondo writes, but I saw many people.
Yeah, they descended on him. They tried to talk that.
But the truth of the matter is that because I'm Michael Bush, I'm governor. My daughter Winnie qualifies to be commissioner. I won't make her commissioner.
So that they won't say you are. It's nepotism. So that they won't say he's a member of the family.
That is why this society is where it is. We pretend too much. We're too hypocritical. Do you understand?
And everybody's trying to throw stones.
Sure.
At the state chairman, at the former member of the House of Assembly.
And I bet you, if they had the opportunity, they would do worse.
They would do the same thing, if not worse. Okay, so that's the setting. And did we tell you? Okay.
Producer is
yes, Enobongdan.
Enobongdan
is our producer.
And our executive producer, of course, is our grandfather.
Is the DG?
Mr. Ediekwen.
Fantastic.
The DG is.
We need to bring him here one of these days.
No, he would be. Biafsi should be here. Biafsi should be here.
Great. Okay, so did we tell you that today is going to be absolutely about politics?
From start to finish.
Yes, we'll be x-raying the rare breed of politics that Governor Umo Eno has brought to Akwa Ibom State. Only yesterday, one of the punches I threw at the Honorable Commissioner for Information was when we had to talk about the fact that I think he just moved out when I asked that question about the fact that some of his policies, post-politics, are disruptive. They are out of this world. They're not something that we're used to. They're not in tune with the norms. For instance, it has always been a norm that when somebody struggles to win an an election, of course, we know he must win that election on the platform of a particular political party. Once the person succeeds, and this is only to be expected, it's only those who supported him, members of his political party, that will be given the lion's share. They will take charge perhaps until the very twilight of that administration before the doors will be open to those who will be willing to join from other political parties. But Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, has come to change that narrative. So quite a lot we're going to be talking about surrounding the kind of politics that he has brought to Akwa Ibom and the kind of post-politics governance that he has also brought to Akwa Ibom. And there is no better person to be taking all the shots in those areas than a former big-time player in the furniture industry in this country. He started by floating a company that was called Unique Furniture Limited, that went with the sobriquet, molding gold out of wood. And he later would get into government, and ever since he got into the corridors of power, he has remained there quite obstinately. Okay, so we're going to be joined by a prince of Urania Takbo, a great entrepreneur turned politician, a former commissioner for transport. Then before he became political advisor to the governor, he had also held that position in the past, I'm not too sure, but he was deputy director general campaigns for the Umo Eno Akoneyanyi campaign council in 2023. He sits today as the governor's political advisor. Prince Dr. Godwin Tugude is our star and perhaps sole guest on today's edition of the program. So he's going to be joining us in a jiffy so we can, get the ball rolling. And we'll look forward to you having some kind of, feedback sent to us. We have different platforms that you can reach us on. We're on Facebook. Pretty soon we're going to share a phone number on the screen that you can also drop your WhatsApp messages. In the course of time, we'll open the phone lines and let you also be a part of the program by calling. And why not? I've talked about phone calls, chats, messages on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and every other imaginable platforms that you can reach us on. So, the boss.
Yeah, Chairman, great day.
Fantastic.
Great day. It's all set. So we're waiting to go. We're discussing Umo Eno's brand of politics.
Absolutely.
And we get that. And we're also expecting people from around the world. We're going live to the UK. We'll go live to the US on this edition of the program. We'll go live perhaps to Abuja. Just like that. In the course of the program, we're discussing politics. But we have some youngsters here. Perhaps
start with them.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Registrar, now, when you look at Pastor Umo Eno, governor of Akwa Ibom, the last 2 years, and you look at him, how do you call it? Through the political prism, what do you see?
Well, I never intended to talk about Pastor Umo Eno today, but sincerely, I find this very interesting.
Why didn't you intend to talk about him today?
Well, I feel I have much to say about him, and if I am called upon all of a sudden to talk about him, I might not be able to say everything best I could say about him. But Pastor Umo Eno in the last 2 years has been like a miracle to Akwa Ibom. His leadership style, of course, is known, is different, is quite interesting for anybody to say a good leader. So I think for me, I don't know if I'm rushing to say that I have not seen someone yet who is more humble. He's humble, he's transparent. I can count the number of things he said and the number of things he has done. So for the past how many years or the past administrations, we barely have things like this happen. But Pastor Umo Eno came up and he showed a different style of leadership completely.
Something you like?
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course.
Prof.
Yes, the boss. My thinking of his kind of politics is that it is different. Different in the sense that I have barely seen people who go beyond their political party to make friends, really, with people from other political parties. And such friendship is not just necessarily because of what they are going to get, but because for the purpose of entrenching unity, right? So I saw that from the beginning of his administration. And honestly, I like to think that that's good. And at some point, I also became worried that, asking myself, is that really going to go exactly very well?
Especially with members of the party.
Exactly. In the long run, is it going to go very well? Knowing where we are, Nigeria, Akwa Ibom State, where, PDP is, what's the word again? Seem to be a religion. That's the word used. That PDP is a religion in Akwa Ibom State, and then a governor comes on the platform of that party and then begins to extend handshakes to people in other political
handshakes across the elbow,
beyond the elbow,
across the political. Of course, it got people talking and all of those things, but generally, I can say that that's a different kind of politics. Whatever is the outcome on the other side is something else to talk about. But on this other side, first, that's a very good step to take.
All right, so Imabasi, let's stick your take. Ubo Obasi. Your take on Umo Eno at 2.
I'm back to that. I'm going to use my own co-direct. So, our governor, Aniki Phone, and politics. Politics. Aki we fail for the Miso akoki so ekebo nke mpo
Miso akoki
ekebo kilo ofrewo ese dia mpo politics but ado governor mi ana mayeke afi frewo ibano ideno
akenu kemfien
yes ntendi to fun we ila ba ke se be bursary 10,000 kidami ekbe bursary 30,000 ana ke fun anim
okay. Nsina mi avu tangi konkanyen. Okay. So mbon mi don't get me talk.
So I don't throw.
Okay, Joe was just looking at her with consternation
and saying, what is she
talking
about? Why is she trying to mess up our program?
No. I mean, I give it to you. Absolutely. After all, yesterday, remember what you did?
No, that's what's
going
to happen.
Of the show.
It's even going to happen today. It's going to happen all day.
Maybe she should pay with
in fact, if Sylvanos is not here, she will do it.
She will do the recap. Yes. So you've sold yourself out. So just get set to do the recap for us after the interview. Fantastic. Okay, so
Daniel.
You done? Daniel? Yes.
Okay, my name is Daniel from Ukanafun. Okay, me I would like to use the Boro dialect.
You can even use Anna.
Dialect.
Yes, you can use Anna. I would like to see Anna. In Imbebo. Oh no. In Imbebo said that Kenan Eboke Basido Icho. Is there anything like that?
Yes.
I found it very funny.
That's what they popularly call the current commissioner for transport, Icho.
Okay.
Okay. How tall he is.
Okay. I don't look.
So maybe the idea is that God is not.
Icho. He's not short.
He's not a short man. Yeah.
Yes.
Since you say that, it's about to be quite long in time. Okay, and then I got one wasn't but I can bet you. But the care this opportunity given the time in the keep
Anibo.
I see boom to so I can weave.
Okay.
But here the care and you say let me make a babako. But I say anyway the governor, but either Kulon. Point get okoli million so many people again an opportunity like craftsmanship when see pay about them like ibom late also akbe mtong parliament to go by ba I was already up to almost over 2,000 so il y a question que mbona kimye se kakame ndiam question akbe ko tum se de ke be ke se na ko akumo fongo na mtong kontre nyere ke meke se kama diam ko ye ke karagani oblique to go 2,000 ke street ade gisi tien tire ke se da ba me ko na empowerment go boko no go bro ka no ke dia ma nye kwere wala ma den ko be buton yo no fini ko so da million ton de ko de aka so sincerely I want to appreciate this our governor and I have more to say like my brother said ke mo ko do wono wo governor I moved from party to party and there's something miraculous leaving his own party to collaborate with another party, but he's still doing very well. He carry everybody along. Although there are some tangible things that we the Ukanafun people very long this way because go mine ki wona bom ke lonje ba million ko bon yakama ke la le go lonje de kamba. So I would likely want to appreciate him and his cabinet for doing all this miraculous work to the state.
Great.
Fantastic.
Okay, so all right, maybe it's time for us 20 minutes since we started. It's Pastor Umo Eno, Governor Umo Eno at 29 guests, 29 days. Now this is a cutting-edge production from Bush House, Nigeria. The intention is for us to mount our searchlights and do some introspection, if you like, on the almost 2 years of the Umo Eno administration that came with the Arise Agenda mantra. This is a bold and audacious attempt by us to take stock of how much of those promises he made to Akwa Ibom people he has been able to keep in almost 2 years. And yesterday we played host to the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, who headlined this series for us. Today we look forward to being joined by the political advisor to the governor and a very explosive guest, if you like. And so we look forward to a very incisive analysis of the past 2 years of his boss, the governor of Akwa Ibom State. So it's time for us to go for a quick break. When we come back from this break, we look forward by then to being joined by our guest. Should he not be here, maybe we try to give our listeners and our viewers a prime place in today's edition of the program by perhaps also having a few of your sentiment via a few phone calls, and then we switch to talk with our star guest on today's edition of the program. So it's Umo Eno at 2, Governor Umo Eno at 2, 29 guests, 29 days. A proud production of Bush House, Nigeria. We're back in a jiffy.
Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Ibom Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Ibom Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Ibom Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service.
Hello, welcome back. It's still Governor Umo Eno at 29 guests, 29 days. And as we did promote at the we stage of this program, the die is cast, the guest is seated, and we're about to roll. Okay, so joining us on day 2 of this beautiful adventure put together, media adventure put together by the Bush House, Nigeria, is a proud son of Uranian Atakbo and a prince of the land, if you ask me. He started being in the social limelight all the way from Calabar, when he told anybody who cared to listen that his mandate was to mold gold out of wood, and he did that under the aegis of Unique Furniture Limited. And back in Obonwanta day, he was in the corridors of power, but not actively as a political office holder. In the course of time, he rose to become the international president of Mbogo Parawebi. As a matter of fact, he's the one that brought the international toga to Mbogo. He took Mbogo beyond Akwa Ibom, took Mbogo beyond Nigeria, took Mbogo beyond the shores of Africa. And he did 2 terms. Some of his legacies include the Mbogo Unity School, among others that are too numerous to just list in 1 minute or 2. Our guest has been a commissioner for transport for many years. He started serving, as a matter of fact, he started getting actively into holding political offices during the Obon Gosul Akpabio era, and then snowballed into the Udomi Manuel administration, and here we are. So it's safe to say, but started as
special advisor, political and legislative affairs.
Later, he became commissioner for transport. I think he switched to some other ministry. I think we've missed that. He has held too many offices that we have started. We have lost count. But as we speak, on the build up to the 2023 general elections, it was found worthy after his senatorial ambition was aborted. It was found worthy to be made the Deputy Director General Campaigns for the Umo Eno Akoneyanyi Campaign Council. And when this government started, at the very early stage of this administration, his appointment as a political advisor was announced. And that's the position he's been holding sway in ever since the advent of the Udomi Manuel administration. Today, we talk the Umo Eno, did I say Udomi Manuel? The Umo Eno administration. Today we talk the Umo Eno brand of politics. And there is no better person to do justice to this topic other than Kwak Barawa, Prince Godwin Ntugude, PhD. So good to have you, sir.
Thank you, Marcus. Thank you very much. The good people of Akwa Ibom State, I would like to say good evening and welcome to this era.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm sure everything is fine.
Yeah, I'm good.
Because
Zanuran man, ever ready. You look for him in the sky, in the ocean, under the water. He's there.
Wherever you find him. Okay, so let's even go a bit personal. How has it been?
Just trapping me. I just landed from
from the airport.
And from the air straight here.
He didn't land from the air. You're not listening. He's an Uran man.
That's a more, as an Uran man, that's a more reason, you shouldn't look any stress. Because you are used to the air.
Absolutely.
Be it in the daytime, be it at night.
You don't know what operates there.
So you're welcome to the show. So let me just start by asking you, how has it been like transitioning from a frontline entrepreneur, frontline business person, to getting yourself actively in politics, to the extent of serving 3 successive governors in very strategic positions?
Thank you very much. It's a build-up, and I recommend that trajectory to anybody who wants to get involved in politics, because politics can be it holds a whole lot of scenarios, and if you don't have the capacity to contend, you probably may not. I recall one guy, King Solo Boy, of Balin local government. In the heydays when we used to cross from Oran to Calabar, he used to say, "Hey, gentlemen, trust no baby, because a baby can nyanya you." You recall that?
Yeah. In the form of a song.
Yeah, politics is like that. If you don't have the capacity to contain it, it can nyanya you. It brings a whole lot of issues that you have to contend with, be it, family issues, local government, boundaries, differences in opinion, sometimes crisis within the system. So as a businessman, what is involved in business? The ability to ensure that your top line, which is the revenue, keeps increasing, so that you can be able to have enough of the bottom line, which is the profit. This issue of plus and minus, profit and loss, has a whole lot of thinking, a whole lot of challenges that you must brace, things you must meet. Human beings' disappointment, structural disappointment, economic disappointment, policy disappointment, even your family and all of that. Ability to harness all of this, coordinate them, at the end of the day, maintain that top line revenue, and the bottom line, which is very crucial, the profit, gives you at the end of the day a well-fortified man who cannot be shaken by incidences. And politics can bring so much of diverse and unexpected challenges. It can be so different from your perspectives. And so, ability to stand firm, to brave over all of this, to still come up with your policy, sustainable development, harmony within the polity, and all of that. So, preparatory steps as a businessman is, I think, a necessary sine qua non to being a very successful politician. Possibly that is why it's been possible for me to be stabilized. So stabilized that you don't find me here and there. You can say that Togude is a consistent person.
Okay.
To maintain that consistency, you need courage of mind. And when you have maintained it, then you'll be relied upon. And because I believe I have maintained that trajectory of consistency, it has become a veritable virtue, an asset that can be trusted and relied upon.
Okay.
Therefore, anybody who wants, to move ahead would like to hire that kind of person, believing that once you say yes, it is yes. Once you are with him, you are with him.
Okay.
And if you say, hey, sir, please, can you look at it this way? It's devoid of selfish, sentiment. It is in the overall best interest of that principle and the system.
Okay. Let's make progress. Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, Governor of Akwa Ibom State, as his political advisor, more as an Akwa Ibom person. What do you make of his politics? What is even his own brand of politics?
Well, I think that without going perambulating, there is something called unprecedented. There is something called unique, Pastor Umo Eno, from all intent and purposes, everybody will agree that he has brought something new in the polity. He has brought collaboration from where it never used to exist. In fact, as of today, he has brought unity from where it never used to exist. Yet he's a governor. Going forward, the unity will become an engulfed brand that the whole family we shall now become one, indivisible. So, Pastor Umo Eno has brought a polity that can accommodate every person's interest. The Arise agenda, first of all, being a studied person, was subjected to study. It wasn't just SWOT analysis alone. It got into methodology research that academicians were involved in dusting, in fine-tuning his ideas by researching into it, using all the different approaches to research. And the gain is that what became fried out of that frying pan has become the Arise agenda that now has stood the test of time to involve the rural people. Michael Bush is aware. I used to query, how come that ballot box will find space and get to somewhere like Osong or Nkari and all of that in your Yoini. But governance will, when it comes up,
we'll never get
remains within Uyo. But ballot box, they say, oh, no road. But there will be road for ballot box to get to Agbamfurukam and all of that. But development will not. So governance will not. So here comes a governor who has broken that genes, so that the people of Osong and Agbamfurukam and Kali and wherever are now they are now staying with hope that very soon it's coming down. It will soon get to me, because rural persons are now the integral part of Arise agenda. It started by all wards be represented. Have your own governor of the ward, PA from the ward, every ward of Akwa Ibom. It now came with every ward a project, compassionate home, every ward, And it has started. He came up with every local government 2 projects. If you put this one in the east, you put this one in the south. Next time you go to the west, and then the other one, and so on. Which means that the rural people are completely involved. They are now also experiencing. Compassionate homes are around, deep down. After all, thatch houses are not in Uyo. They are in the rural areas. He talks about farming. He encourages people to come out from the rural, to come out, get the seedlings, get the necessary needs, and be empowered. Go down and farm. Ensure that no pot of soup in Akwa Ibom is completed, made possible by only things bought from the market. Let your garden produce 1 or 2 or a certain percentage of the food that you make up in the table for food security sake. So, having done all of that to take life to the rural people, to get them connected, they never saw government. Now government stops by their doorsteps. Government stops by their environment and then listens to them. He therefore culminated into what you call collaboration. Politics where all parties are now receiving attention without, discrimination. That students who are Akwa Ibomites voluntarily accepting to belong under the constitutional provisions of the rights of individual to belong, and have chosen to belong to any party. Party is no more an issue in Akwa Ibom. It is now a person. What is your problem? What is your need? Not where you are from, which party do you belong. Go into the platform, enlist your name there that you don't have a job. Once he said to cut, he cuts like he did 15,000 ago. And out of that, 50,000 naira gone. At least have something like they do in Texas. In Texas, every born child and every human being there has a monthly stipend when he's not employed, so that you keep being alive until you get employed. So he moves from there and goes to engulfing, celebrating heroes. Whoever is worth celebrating, he is celebrating. Whoever is worth invited to event, he is invited. Wherever he meets anybody from Akwa Ibom, regardless of your party, you are warmly received by His Excellency. And you now see in Akwa Ibom, where all our people, faces, names are seated together to eat, drink, and think together. And they send their problems, their challenges, their infrastructural needs to the governor, and he responds. Governor also brings up this one that is now doing mid-term report, going to the people. Bring your people all out from wherever, let them come. Let me tell them, when I came on consultation, when I came on campaign, this is what you told me to do. This is what I promised you. He has now come. He's now beginning to move around, not because of election, but as a part of democratic belief in him to account to the people, to live for the people, to open up for the people, to assess how far he has done and what he has not done, and ask questions, and then bring up next issues that they believe is of paramount interest to them. So with all of these, Pastor Umo Eno has brought some unique and unprecedented, leadership typology into democratic norms in Akwa Ibom.
Fantastic. I'm just wondering, what do you call, even though
is a name
for his brand of politics?
When you say people-centric, it's about the people.
Okay.
Yeah, for instance, there's someone from my place who once said that we should. He's a political scientist, Sir Victor Etefia.
Yeah.
He is of the opinion that non-political scientists should stay away from active politics. That's always on a lighter note. But he came up with a coinage and said, maybe we should advocate. He came up with a coinage that this should be his brand of politics should be inclusivism.
Whatever.
And that's like a philosophy around which he builds the kind of things he's been doing.
Fantastic. So
collaboration is already the centerpiece.
So Governor Umo Eno, dear political advisor, includes everybody.
Correct.
One question.
And that's why you have peace.
One question going forward.
Yes.
Are PDP members who voted for him, who rooted for him, who worked for him in 2023 happy?
Thank you very much. I will tell you that whenever you see light, if you were in darkness and they turn in light into this house, the first thing that will happen to you is fright. You'll be frightened. But by the time you breathe in and out and see that it makes you see X, Y, and Z, you say, wow, this is transformative. Is this what the light was coming to give to me? Yeah, the people of PDP are celebrating the fact that their own leader, their own brand has come with something that has transcended where others couldn't, go beyond. And right now, we don't spend so much, for insecurity and all of that in Akwa Ibom. The only little insecurity may be, cows entered my farm. That's kind of that, But man's, havoc on another man, insecurity, kidnapping have been greatly reduced because people are now having hope in the government. People are now believing in the government, and people are talking together. There is no demarcation. They are talking together. If you go to Maitama, people are sitting together, devoid of class. Political inclusivity is a cross-party line that people talk now. So they don't talk about, so even if you are not there today, the moment he crosses your name, crosses his mind, or his eyes crosses you, he recalls immediately what you did, what you requested, what was to be done to you, and it's done right there. So I believe that the PDP family are happy. They are happy because nobody will not, that I know, would not celebrate is excellent when his own brand does well.
Someone has joined us?
Yeah, somebody has joined us. Somebody is in Bradford in the United Kingdom, and that is Precious. I always like to stay out of trouble. His surname, my God, no go area. Please take us through your surname.
Good day, Dr. Bush.
Yes.
My name is Precious Afian-Kori.
Precious, thank you for joining us from Bradford in the UK. Precious, we're discussing Governor Umo Eno's brand of politics. You are from Edo State, right? You're from Edo State or Delta?
Edo,
yes. You're from Edo State, but you're married to an Akwa Ibom lady, and you used to live in Akwa Ibom. You lived from Akwa Ibom how long?
26 years.
Wow, before you went to England.
Yeah.
So
I still live in Akwa Ibom. My family is still there.
Absolutely. Do you speak Akwa Ibom?
I'm still.
Do you speak Akwa Ibom?
I'm still bona fide Akwa Ibom.
Do you speak Akwa Ibom?
I'm still working on it.
26 years after.
26
years.
But I'm sure you have tested all our delicacies.
Everything.
You are not working on. You are not working on that. You are not working on those ones.
I'm sure you know Prince Godwin Tugude, who is the Prince Godwin Tugude PhD, the political advisor. Is your in-law?
I greet you, sir.
Yes. Okay, so
You're welcome.
Yes, we're discussing the governor's brand of politics. Were you here when Governor Umo Eno emerged, or you left and he became governor?
Yeah. No, I was in the I was here when it came. I left January 2024.
Okay, January 2022. Okay, so but you know who the governor is now.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you get to meet him before he became governor? Do you know him in person?
Okay. Twice. Was once, and you see, definitely very funny. I was in Eckert's job. So I visited that Royal Hotel. I was sitting in a corner and I saw this fair-looking man, red dress, like you know, when you know how the government places. So what caught my interest is he came down the stairs and at the reception area, he saw some customers. He felt they were like giving the need or something. And he started attending to them. He started asking them questions. How can I be of help? You know? So I never knew he was the owner of the hotel. That was way back, that was like 11 years ago. I never knew he was the owner of the hotel. So somebody that told me about the chapter of the hotel. I couldn't believe my eyes. Now the owner of the hotel we come to attend to people at the reception.
Absolutely.
That was my first encounter with him.
Yeah.
The second one was when I was invited to a program by Bishop in my song, and the doctor there was the guest speaker. I can recall telling myself that I never had such a brilliant speaker in my life, because he spoke on a matter that I went home feeling very fulfilled. He's a very good orator that I can give him.
Okay, so he's been governor 2 years now. We're just preparing for the second anniversary. In the UK, by the way, where you are in the UK and when you speak with other Akwa Ibomites, other Nigerians, does it get a mention? Does the state get a mention? Is the state popular out in the UK? Is Governor Umo Eno known there?
Well, anyway, yes, I think this time I was at Southampton. Yeah, I was actually invited to be the media guy that covered the government versus fight and this commemoration in London. I won in diaspora, I won in the UK and in Europe. We had the program in London. So I was called all the way from Bradford to come and do the event coverage, and I filmed it live. So that was the first time I was finding myself in such number of Akwa Ibomites outside the country. And I think being the media guy for that program, I was fortunate to hear stuff. You know? And I can see the daughter of the governor who represented the governor discharged herself very well, and the speech he gave, and for the things she told the audience concerning what the father was doing. And besides that, I was talking with a lot of Akwa Ibom people. You know, I met a very prominent Akwa Ibom people who I met. That's when I got to know about a few things about what the government is doing. I was very scared. Top of it was that I got to know that for the first time, finally, an Akwa Ibom government has given it fit to give non-indigenous the right to clothes in government. I was so excited to know this morning. You know, I'm from Edo State, the president of Edo people of ECATA, that's our association. You know, he spent over 1 hour. I told him that I want to go on air, talk about politics, the governor, and other things. So he told me that on behalf of Edo people in Akwa Ibom, that on behalf of all non-Indians in Akwa Ibom, I have to tell you thank you.
Fantastic.
For the very first time, the government has given me 8 points. Let us aim on non-Indian matters. I was so shocked. I was telling one of our discussions that I think that we who are not indigenous over the years we have been considered worthy enough to contribute our quota to the development of the state at that level. I think I was looking to you, not knowing that the government has done it already. So I'm also happy to report that the gentleman, I think one of the bully, who is the SFA.
Yes.
I've got to learn from both my people in the states. But this morning, when I knew I was coming here, I closed the church because I didn't want them to well. You know, that's my primary constituency. I really wanted to dwell on that, so I didn't need to call, find out what is our place, what is our status, what is happening to us as people in the Akwa Ibom state. And I was so glad I could not wait for this time to reach so that I can come and say what I go to them. That the non-indigenous things that was prominent, or that were prominent, One is that the government has embarked on this business grant something that it just do it only for indigenous. That he was magnanimous enough to extend it to non-indigenous. And to confirm, I said, until I see evidence, my president sent me the form to show that yes, one in Edo State of patrol. He was up to announce to me that over 90% of our members in Edo State got access to that grant. And he also told me again, beyond that the government has also extended his law in another form. He said, I didn't know that was existing at Fiber time. That the elderly have to use open air without paying. Who does that? Who does that? So now, even non-indigenous, I was told that even non-indigenous, the elderly non-indigenous too, can actually fly open air.
Wow.
Are paying. I mean, that is the idea I got. That the government is it a rebate or that allowance for them to travel with showing love to the elderly. So you see, for the very first time, because I got to understand our people are very employers. Now it's not like as if other administrations have not been doing something, but this one is, they said they have not had this good.
Okay, absolutely.
And that the man at the helm of affairs, I was told that they have done quite a lot. I'm not letting him, so I'm not here to take his place. I'm only reporting what I've been told.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm so glad to see that.
All right, beautiful. So,
and not just one, I was told that another Edo man who was appointed as SSA. You see, I'm talking about non-indigenous, and how they are accepted, because this was what I really want to about some other areas which I would like to share that we on. That the fact that our people who form a huge chunk of the population of states that finally that causing a place to call home. Because when the government recognizes you and shares what belongs to their people with who companies, they really accept you.
Okay.
All right.
So that's good. And I say thank you, His Excellency.
Yeah.
God bless you. My people ask me to tell you thank you.
Absolutely.
That's good.
That they have gotten what you said to them.
Amen.
Thank you.
Okay, Precious in Bradford, the UK. There's Precious in Uyo. You just want to say hi to him. You have a namesake in the live studios here. Did you hear that?
You don't come again?
You have a namesake in the live studios here. We have we have Precious here too. And Precious would like to say hi to Precious.
There will be royalties.
okay, so Precious, we'll still come back to you. We still come back to you. You know, we have an in-studio guest. So if you don't mind, just stand
by.
Yes, stand by, and we'll come back to you before the end of the show in the next hour. Okay, so by the studio timepiece is about 5 o'clock to the minute. All right, so this is still this cutting edge production from Bush House, Nigeria. It's a bold attempt, intentional if you like, by us to examine the strides and perhaps look at the optics of the last almost 2 years of the Umo Eno administration. We're doing this in the form of a series entitled Governor Umo Eno at 2. 29 days, 29 guests, 29 days. Okay, so this is day 2, and we're being joined by the political advisor to the governor. Our prince go into the PhD. Okay, so let me raise this. There's a question you answered, and we'll come back to that question.
Okay,
we'll go for a quick break. Now, a quick break. Once we're back from this break, we'll be firing some more salvos on the studio guest. Our prince go into the PhD. Stay with us. We're back in no time.
And I just need to quickly tell you that the Honorable Commissioner for Information, who is the chief collaborator, is the one that made sure we had this platform. Honorable Aneka Numan is in the live studios, complete with permanent secretary, international president, Barawa James Sededon PM. And so you just feel that somewhere there's fire on the mountain. Stay tuned.
Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Umo Air, advancement of work on Umo Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Umo Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service. Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Umo Air, advancement of work on Umo Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Umo Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service.
All right, so you're welcome back. It's still day 2 of this special series that's designed to take stock of the almost 2 years of the Umo Eno era as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. Only yesterday, the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, headlined this show when we actually opened it. Today is back, and there is a minor adjustment in the studio setting. The boss has yielded his seats, and so I'm now sandwiched by 2 big shakers and movers of the Umo Eno administration. To my left, as you already know, he's been around since we started. Power Prince going to the PhD, the political advisor to the governor, and now joining us to my right is the Honorable Commissioner and chief collaborator for the special media adventure that's to last for all of 29 days. It's entitled Governor Umo Eno at 2, 29 guests, 29 days. Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, Honorable Ania Kanomana, thanks for joining us again. This is keeping to your promise. You told us yesterday you'd be dashing in at any time. I must thank you for finding time to come back here.
Yeah, thank you very much, Itoro. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, studio guests. And very special thanks to my brother, the political advisor to the governor. I was wondering if he would make it because I knew he wasn't around. He was out of the state on official engagement. And when I spoke to him, he said, we're just touching down. And so I don't know, maybe it's an Uran man. You need to find your way. You need to fly.
Once it is the air, be it at night or in the daytime,
to fly to AKBC.
It's a safe terrain for him.
Exactly. After he's on the way home. So I'm happy to be here. Political advisor, welcome. I was listening to you doing your thing.
Yes.
God bless you.
Thank you. Okay, I come back to your Honorable Commissioner in a minute, but let me stay with you, Dr. Ntogode. Now, you served as the Deputy Director General Campaigns for the Umo Eno Campaign Council. In other words, wherever the governor went campaigning, you went with him. And I know you to be a very good communicator. When it has to do with listening, you are a top-notch listener. So in other words, you captured all of that which the governor promised Akwa Ibom people almost 2 years down the line. Let's take stock. How much of those promises he made would you say he has been able to fulfill? I'm persuaded to believe that the achievements are supposed to be first. So we are now looking at within the first 2 years, how much of those promises has he been able to keep?
Yeah, thank you very much. I believe I'm talking to Akwa Ibom people who are also listening, and some of them are here. Yes, His Excellency went local government by local government, and before he went, there was a need assessment of the peculiarities of the local government. By today, over 50 road projects have been, inaugurated, some even commissioned, in where the roads were to be made. In Ikorikpere, that was to be an international market, a site is almost getting prepared for the launch of the international market. In almost all the local governments, it's either you're talking about the agriculture, he said he will ensure everybody farms. Everywhere there is farming all over. To the extent that His Excellency even had to bring up as an encouragement, do you have a garden? And he showcased that garden, and people went around. The good thing about His Excellency is that he has monitors, he has advisors, he has supervisors, he has those who go around making his statements real. And so they went around and saw physically the gardens by the house and residences of people. And of course, those who won prizes won 500,000 naira to encourage them to go back. Meaning that yes, indeed, the farming explosion has come to stay. Roads are everywhere. Explosion, another word. Roads explosion here and there. There is hardly any road that His Excellency had promised that he has not, inaugurated. I can understand that even in his assessment, there was one local government that had no road in his budget, in his execution for now. You know what? He had to direct the commissioner. Do you know what? This is the only local government I have not, inaugurated a road project. So please, I give you a marching order now. You must go to your local government and bring the most sensitive two roads. And that was brought in. That shows that the Arise agenda had already been prepared before we went on campaigns. Okay. And so all he did was to tell the people, before he even got up from bed, I had already been here and asked questions and got details of what are the peculiar needs in prioritized form, what you need most, and he highlighted them. So right now, that's why as he goes around, he is going with pride and elegance, telling the people the result of the Arise agenda as it pertains to the local government. And I'm sure he has gone more than 85% now scored.
Fantastic.
Even that is why the people trust to bring more needs, believing, having satisfied them.
That he will do more.
Yes, he's going to do more.
Okay.
So I believe that the people of Akwa Ibom State can say that indeed most of the things that His Excellency did not even promise,
he has done them.
He has done them.
Okay. Honorable Commissioner, let's look at the optics. Let's look at the feedback. It's no gainsaying that.
But look at that. That's the new hospital coming up.
Fantastic. The one that's to be located within the medical corridor. Incidentally, this is in my place. This is
exactly. That is what you're expecting. This will be flagged off during this period, and 24 solid departments. As I speak to you, there are already 100 special medical personnel in specialized areas being trained overseas, in Turkey and different places, who will work here.
Wow.
And this project will be delivered.
Wow.
That's the whole idea. Specialized medical care to bring in all of the quaternary services and special services. Thank you for putting this up, because we need people
only
to
yesterday you showed us the model of the imaging AKBC, and we were wow.
No, that's true. That will be flagged off this May. I can say that convincingly, because it's on schedule for flag off, and there's so many others that are coming. He talked about the international market. He talked about all of the roads that will be flagged off, that will be commissioned and flagged off. Of course, there's a medical, the health center in Nsuru will be flagged off. In Ikorekwere will be commissioned, and several other things lined up. Let me not let the lead out yet until the official timetable is out. You will see all of those. So, but there were 47 projects lined up for flag off between January and sometime in the middle of the year, and that's going on. So each time as an Akwa Ibom man, you turn around and see things like this, we feel very excited as a people that this is a governor that is living his dream and overdoing, like my brother, the political advisor, said. He is overdoing. He's doing more than he promised. Everywhere he goes, he talked about roads, over 700 kilometers of roads that he has instituted, including the ones he inherited, are being constructed, including the ones that have been commissioned already, and there are about 167 in number. 167 of over 700 kilometers, and every local government is having the benefit, like the political advisor said. Every local government is having the benefit. I know the local government is talked about because I was in that meeting when that directive was given for the ESCO member to get his people and get nomination of roads to be included, so that the 31 local government areas will have at least 2 road projects going on. Some are more. So that's going on, and we're happy to be here. Sorry to interrupt, just that I saw that beautiful image.
Yeah, no, it's a good interruption. Yes,
so
beautiful interruption. If you ask me,
see what's unfolding. They can see what's unfolding in the state. If you get to the aviation corridor, you see what is happening in that ecosystem. Apart from completing the new terminal building, if you have the visual show, because you see people walking in there, the new terminal building is being brought to what it should be. It will soon be totally completed. You enter the MRO, the MRO is almost been totally completed. His Excellency Governor Umo Eno is continuing to invest in those projects to ensure that they come to fruition. The Ibom Air is being supported to ensure that it remains our main flag in the sky. You know, in his administration alone, apart from the Airbus A220 that came in initially from the back order and the ones that were brought in, he also bought 2 CRJ 900 aircraft and added to them so they can have enough fleet to support what they are doing. He has not ended there. He's gone in. Let me finish the aviation system. He's gone into the aviation village construction, a complete estate with everything you can think about: educational facilities, healthcare facilities, security facilities, residential facilities, all embedded in that aviation village right there by the airport. And then if you're entering the airport, look to the right, you can see that the medical center is completely being revamped and rehabilitated to build back that ecosystem and continue to expand it to meet the growing needs of the aviation industry within Akwa Ibom State, of course in Nigeria. But if you would like us to talk about the infrastructure there at Oron, the maritime infrastructure, people tend to forget this. This is a critical infrastructure that's going on. Billions of naira sunk in there to develop those jetties, develop the waterways, add the ships, 2 of them, one first, the second will come in, the warehouses, all of the parking bays, and all of those things that will grow the economic activities and the maritime development in that part of the state, that is in Oron. Those and so many more things. I know you're itching to say something. Let me allow you.
Okay, so we just want to quickly have back Precious all the way from the UK. Okay, so let's just spare the next 2 minutes. You know, the studio is packed, action packed, and we have the Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, and the political advisor to the governor. So we spared another 2 minutes for you to, you know, I mean, joining you has also given us a new perspective to the achievement of the governor. Incidentally, I dare say you are the one that broke the news of the rebate that the governor has started giving to the elderly whenever they fly our prestigious brand, that's Umo Eno. And of course, you also spoke about the fact that unlike what used to happen in the past, non-indigenous who are residents in Akwa Ibom have been given a pride of place in the government of Pastor Umo Eno. So maybe additional sentiment you'd like to share with us on the man, Governor Umo Eno, as he spends 2 years in office as chief executive.
Okay, quickly, what I prepared comes in here. I think clearly what the Honorable Commissioner has said, and the elder has spoken concerning, they have spoken a lot concerning what the governor has done. You can see that with our state, I call it our state because I've lived in Akwa Ibom longer than I've lived in my home state of Edo State. I've lived longer. So I'm glad to see that.
Only he didn't tell us which local government area your certificate of origin reads. Your certificate of origin. Oh, it too. Fantastic. Fantastic. Neighbor. Yes, right here.
Does he have his certificate of origin? Otherwise, we'll have to ship mail one to him.
We can mail one to you
in UK.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I can say we are on our way to complete industrialization with our airline ruling the airwaves, as in airwaves or the
skies,
airline industry, the sky, Then with the good support coming up, I mean, come on, I mean, it's a win-win. What I would like to know, I'm happy that the other question is there. What are we doing concerning agriculture?
Okay. Oh, beautiful. I'd like to take that on. Let me take it.
Has gone this far in all these areas. So must be doing something concerning agriculture.
Yeah, let me take that from you.
That. Hello?
Let me take that from you. Agriculture. The letter A in the Arise agenda represents the agricultural revolution. That is the starting point of the implementation of any project or program as far as the Arise agenda and Akwa Ibom State is concerned. In Governor Umo Eno's administration, agriculture is big. That is the biggest letter, the biggest A. Food availability, food affordability, and price stability. So he went on to declare a war on hunger in the state. And then, like, if you had the political advisor when he started, he did say that there is a very deliberate plan by the governor to ensure that we grow what we eat. Our people are encouraged to go to farm, they're encouraged to farm, they're encouraged to own home gardens. That is outside of the bigger picture, like the boom model farm project that's going on at Isurubium now, and those earmarked for the 31 local government areas. As soon as each local government provides the needed land to allow government move in and continue this development. So if you look at the model farm, you have everything that you can think of is modeled in the fashion of the Songhai farm settlement. You have that in different parts of the world, in the Republic of Benin and different Togo and different places. I know there was an attempt in Kwara and at some point. So that of Akwa Ibom is coming up. The fishing ponds are already up. The gate is up. The farm is fully fenced. Of course, the farmhouses are coming up. The plantations are coming up, and different areas. And then the governor has gone ahead to set up an equipment leasing company with complements of tractors and mechanized equipment to allow people to have access to where they can hire equipment and begin the process of mechanizing our farming. That is in addition to providing farming implements like cassava stem, improved varieties and all of that to different farmers who are structured within the registered system for us to know who they are. So the Ministry of Agriculture is doing a lot of work in that area, and government is investing a huge amount of money to ensure that this happens. What has happened in this? What is the effect? Young people, families are encouraged. You have the farmers with swag, which are essentially students, and they are taught to farm right from the school system, so they can now grow and imbibe the farming culture. And then we have the home farmer scheme, where people earn money, like you said, $500,000 naira to the first set of people who upload their videos whenever the entry is open, and then they upload it onto the portal. Once they are verified and selected, they have a support fund of $500,000 naira, which helps them, of course, to tidy what they are doing. And as I speak to you, there is what is called the farmers grant of 2 billion naira that is being distributed to beneficiaries in each federal constituency as we continue the town square meeting. On Thursday, we will be heading to Ituibiano federal constituency, and at that point, the beneficiaries will line up and get their money. You have people who have small holding farms, people who will earn up to 1 million, 1.5, 2.5 to 5 million naira per person. So that will enable them. But they are not. This money is not a bazaar, I must say here. Yeah. Like this political advisor said earlier, there's a monitoring system to ensure that this money is made those purposes, and that those people are actually living the purposes on which they are getting this grant. And more people are coming on the portal.
Fantastic. Special advisor to the governor. There's no gainsaying. The governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno, has been people-centric. Nobody, I mean, of all the boxes that he has ticked beyond the promises he made to Akwa Ibom people, that stands out. Everything he does is masses-centric. But we also know, I mean, that's all that goes to lend credence to the fact that governance does not exist in isolation. There has to be that symbiotic relationship between government and the governed. The question would be, in the last almost 2 years, how have the optics been like? What have been the feedback from the people like? When you hit the streets and you discuss Pastor Umo Eno, what kind of sentiment resonates from the people? What has been the sentiment from the people like in the last 2 years?
Yeah, thank you very much. I think the public, the good people of Akwa Ibom State have enough story, enough lessons they have learned. There is joy in the heart of everybody. Like my brother all the way from UK, what is he saying? His joy. Today, where I'm coming from, I met a man as old as General Ike Wachuku. What was he saying? He told me, you know what, please, when you go, extend my appreciation to your governor. I don't know him that much, but from what I have seen
in his Queen's English,
yes, exactly. What I've seen on television and radio, this is a governor to beat. My friend Eme of Kano, the last time I met him, the last convocation of University of Calabar, told me that I should tell His Excellency that he's so satisfied and happy with his style of leadership, because that even when you see him explain things to the people, display his governance, pros on television, he's so natural about it, showing there is no fake approach. Now, because this is one governor that we could say is a talk and do man. Whatever he promises, that is what he does, and even exceeds it. For the first time, students are receiving their bursary. For the first time, students are getting, aids.
And digitally too. Digitally.
For the first time, traders are getting direct money to do their business.
Digitally
Unemployed
too.
Are getting money to at least make them feel human. As
in a digital manner too.
And all of these things are open to anybody without face, without name, provided you are resident in Akwa Ibom State, because a portal is created. Now everything is AI compliance. His Excellency is a digital person, and he's such a clean man. Like my brother said, if you see him, his dress code, his appearance will tell you that is a neat man. This is a decent man. This is a classic somebody. And so he extends that even into his governance. The way the members of his ESCO behave, the way they dress, the way they conduct themselves, the way they learn the act of, doing their business in terms of setting timelines, in terms of monitoring their timelines, in terms of reporting, some kind of feedback mechanism, the way they must upload it to the governor for him to know on the spot every day where each commissioner is, what he is doing, how far he is going. Then not only that, he brings in advisors to also co-supervise project by project, that even the old commissioners that left office and many other citizens are not left out of connection. So having seen this kind of a man who has integrated everybody into it, what he says to the farmers, he has done it digitally. To the students, he has done it digitally. To the traders and entrepreneurs, he has done it. Imagine the kind of things that were in the stadium. 10,000 super brand new equipment, from cars to buses to everything, then supplied to 2,000 people to impact them, to empower them. To these and many more, the people of Akwa Ibom cannot end up the story. They are singing the praises. Everybody you meet says, no, this governor
has done well.
For the first time, if I've never commented on politics, I think this man has made me to comment on politics. Because he has done well. Most importantly, transcending political barriers in terms of party lines and making all of this available, demystifying political names and boundaries, and making the human beings who stay here the cornerstone of his public policy.
And so the Unity Project.
Yes, absolutely. So, whereas the governor, according to these shakers and movers of his administration, has been very intentional about e-governance, we're also intentional about going as far as this media adventure is concerned. So, joining us right now, and this is still in tune with our deliberate approach to ensuring that we have tremendous feedback from those who are either natives of Akwa Ibom, resident here, or resident in any other part of the world. So Patrick Willie is joining us right now, all the way from Washington, D.C. Hello, Mr. Willie.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Priest.
Good afternoon. How are you? How is Washington D.C. today?
Pretty good.
Fantastic. Okay, so
Washington D.C. is good. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so what time is it over there as we speak, so I know whether to greet you good morning?
Morning.
Yeah. Okay, still morning hours. Okay, fantastic. So thanks for joining us. Seated in the studio as we speak are two great shakers and movers of this administration of Governor Umo Eno. I'm sure you know, and that's why you joined us, that we are on this special series entitled Governor Umo Eno at 2. 29 guests, 29 days. The Honorable Commissioner, Minister of Information, Akwa Ibom State, seated to my right, who is the chief collaborator with Bush House Nigeria for this production, is here alongside the political advisor to the governor. So let me ask you, I know without being told that in the past, Akwa Ibom people resident, especially in the United States, used to be the most vocal in criticizing successive governors. But I must give it to you, that it seems the narratives have now changed. But I'd like to find out from you, what are the sentiments like among Akwa Ibom people resident in the United States about the 2-year administration of Pastor Umo Eno?
Around about the office. So your last year, I guess, for next month. But the sentiment here is just by the police for my local government of Oran and from.
Or you're from Oran?
I heard the political things that the government have done. But I want to look at what they say about the previous administration. They said that we don't often see much to a government. We always see the government spend a lot of things. Even those outsiders like us, we still see a lot of people things that keep. The last person that said the thing about legal, that is something of my interest because I am management consultant in terms of information security. So when I was in Uyo some years back, I studied in United Kingdom in 2007, and then after I got my master, I started to come back and pack my. I don't want to stay in the into my state. So when I got back here, I tried so much to introduce the idea of having other things in the instant they had a lot of pushback.
I'm afraid, Mr. Willie, I don't know if it's from your end or from our end, but the voice, the audio is quite not too clear. So maybe we'll have a number of a lot of glitches. So we might have to come back to you, hoping by that time, we would have gotten some clearer signals from you. Okay, for the purpose of our radio listeners, we did promise and we keep to every bit of promise we make here. Okay, for the purpose of for our radio listeners, we are going to be opening the phone lines anytime soon. 30 minutes left in our hands are just too small for the quality of guests we have in the studio, but we'll try to see how we accommodate your interest. 0803-945-1406. That's for those who are going to be joining us via the radio. For our TV viewers, of course, the number is on the screen. Again, I take the number via which you can call and be a part of this program. 0803-945-1406. And once you call, we take the calls. Okay, Honorable Commissioner, quickly, you want to react? I'm sure you got a bit of what Mr. Willie said.
Yes, I did.
I think he said his.
Yes, I did. I had
he really celebrated the governor on the e-governance component of the administration.
I had him. He did say he was happy with what he's hearing about the digitization of government processes, and he would like to hear more or know more. So the first thing, Willie, thank you so much for saying that, and I'm happy to. Also, I'm glad to know that we also have people in the digital security ecosystem within the United States who are quite bombers like yourself. So you're making us proud. Well, I need to let you know that His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, Governor of Akwa Ibom State, is an e-compliant governor. It's a digitally propelled governor. And he made it very clear in his Arise agenda that one of the cardinal areas, if you look at the pillars of the Arise agenda and go to the focal areas, information communication and digital technology is one of the embedded components of the focal areas, and he made no mistake about this. He started out first by putting in place a senior special assistant to the governor on ICT, and then graduated the Minister of Science into now the Minister of Science and Digital Economy. And then that environment is now enabled to drive the digitization of governance, the digitization of government processes, and the embedment of e-governance into the system of doing things in Akwa Ibom. For instance, we talked about the portal. All of these things are aggregated into a digital network, and it sits on a server to allow the state to have the right type of data to get things done. Every recruitment, contracting processes, educational processes, employment, like I said, that's the recruitment, like what's going on now, the safety officers, the lawyers, all of those are recruited through the portal. The beneficiaries of grants, agri grants, farmers grants, they're all coming out of the portal. So the digitization is on, and government is big on that. His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno is big on e-governance, and he's continuing to invest in it to ensure that at some point he should be able to envelope Akwa Ibom into one base that is the totality of the data of the state that you can bank on and use it for planning.
Beautiful. Okay, so we anticipate the calls 0803-945-1406. Okay.
On the security,
yes.
Using technology again to ward off insecurity in the state.
Yes.
You are aware that governor has advanced technologically by building a command center.
Yes.
A command center that will have all of the technological equipment and will be so equipped to ensure that, like the young man said, one of the things is for our foreign nationals living outside to come to Akwa Ibom and stay in peace and feel safe. That command center would put the final stop, because there is hardly any corner of Akwa Ibom State that a bird will fly that will not be, detected from the command center. And with that kind of technology, that kind of a man who thinks up to that and invests that kind of, government resources of the state judiciously to something that will benefit the people, be within and outside, is a man who has the vision for development, for peace, and for human capacity, safety, and development. So the command center is one sure bet that will give our people.
Yeah, there's a visual there of the flag of.
Okay,
you can see that there.
Okay, so that's the signage.
Yeah, that's the signage.
And it shows the models.
Yeah. Shows the models.
Different slides to the models.
Yeah, if they have
the command and control center.
If you have the visuals, I'm sure they are there. You can show actually what it looks like.
Yes,
it's a completely.
It had a deadline for completion, and on that deadline, before May 29 or thereabout, this command center would have been finished and part of the commission, alongside with, and one of the areas also to appreciate that, Governor, is to go back to believe that every previous investment that was ever done by any previous administrator, Governor, in this state was for the good of the people, and so far the invested funds are part of the people's sweat and endeavors. Check out the Ibom Tropicana Hotel that has been over the years is soon to be flagged off, furnished and given a rebate. The conference center, the convention center, 5,000 capacity has been remodeled and is about to be flagged off for it to be completed. A shopping mall, the best of its class in this country, is already shopping city,
bigger than the one we already have.
Yeah, by every standard. I mean, Nigeria will come to look at it, because that has no match here. Is again to be flagged off. And of course, the good thing about Pastor Umo Eno, so that nobody says, "Oh, this flag off, when shall it be completed?" When he says, "This is my deadline," that is his deadline, because he has expended on human beings, trained them on supervision and timeline. And so he has added all these supervisors, all these advisors to all the projects, one after another. And he has the time to spend about twice in a month or once in a month. He will assemble all in the banquet hall, both commissioners and delivery advisors to come, and every project will be reviewed as to where it is now, if there any challenge, if there is none, and also adherence and strict warning to maintaining the date of commissioning. So all these projects have their timeline, and it's going to be delivered within the life of this administration. First outing on.
All right, so first caller. Hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Hello. All right, so I think we lost that call. We look forward to more of such calls coming in. All right, so Akwa Prince go into it. We have about 22 minutes, if not less than that, to the end of this program. We have talked governance, and the governor promised us that once we are done with politics, it's going to be time for governance. But we always know that within every 4-year cycle, we go back to politics. That will always be great governance. Yesterday, the Honorable Commissioner was here, and we asked him a question we couldn't afford not to ask him. You are here today. I'm going to ask you that question, because we can't have the political advisor and not ask that question. There's been so much. It's an established fact, and the governor himself has said it, that he does not have a body language, and so everything the governor intends to let the people know, he communicates it. He's a master communication strategist. He markets himself. He sells. He's a salesman for the state and for his administration, and so in tune with the fact that he has told us that he doesn't have a body language, he has tended to make some communication that I tend to suggest that before 2027 he might be switching camp. And I ask you pointedly, political advisor, if there's anybody who should know, it should be you. Is the governor defecting to the All Progressives Congress?
Thank you very much. You are very specific. But I want to say that truly speaking, there is that intention for the good of the people. Here we are. I told you that the governor is not really, he has made Akwa Ibom to be a state after people, not after political parties. Yes, the governor came on the heels of PDP, our dearest political party. All of us are from there. But right now, the governor has foreseen danger ahead. He has seen danger ahead, and that danger is very clear and glaring. And so, as a political scientist, as a man who postulates, who looks into the future from the eye of his academic attainment and experience, and the fact that he's standing tall on the shoulder of equals, the fact that Akwa Ibom people bended their shoulders and gave him, he becomes the tall man that sees ahead. Now, in Akwa Ibom, in Nigeria today, we have our great party, the PDP. For whatever reason, there are some owners, those who claim owners and those who claim critical stalwarts of the party, who have manipulated some games that made the party to be, a bit unstable. Unstable in producing, officers that would be signatories to a very important document. And so the governor is saying, let us pray that God will give us a PDP that has a secretary identified, known by law, and will be acceptable in law. So that when he goes to buy his form, the form will be signed by an authentic secretary. So that when you give him with all this massive support and endorsement, it is very clear that we are likely and will surely vote back our governor for a second term. It will therefore be very unfortunate after such effort, then a technical point is raised in law as to the authenticity of the signatory that signed the form.
But I thought just a few days ago, the National Working Committee of the party dealt with that issue conclusively.
No. They dealt as a party, but not as the chief judge in the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court has already given us previous authorities and incidents where judgment have been passed and 2 governors have been ousted because of signature to the form that that the governor used in running for the election. So what are we saying today? What we are saying today is the people who own the party are not stabilizing the party. We ourselves here, we cannot and have not gotten the requisite empowered status to be able to force them to give us a party that is stabilized. Then the governor now, being a leader, knowing too well that very soon election is going to come, and seeing the danger ahead, is now telling you to forestall that danger, in order that we don't dance into that murky water. We should be apprehensive that yes, indeed, since this situation is continuing, it is very likely that our governor will call all the stakeholders and ask them for the collective way forward, explaining to them the danger he has seen, the incidences that are happening, the party that we have. And of course, you and I know that the PDP has been dancing, up and down and all of that. It's very unfortunate. Nobody prayed for it. But you cannot sit down as a leader of a people and allow flood to come and swim and carry you, while you are still alive. So to that extent, I will tell you that let us also pray like the governor says. But if we don't have the ready party, with all the paraphernalia, and the signals are not pointing to their readiness to put it right,
defection might happen. Commissioner, yesterday you were, in fact, when you answered the question, this kind of question that we ask, the president at large,
and I would not even want you to use the word defection. It will not be movement. The governor will now move from one platform to another to carry the people to El Dorado.
Okay, I thought movement in this context is synonymous with defection. So when you answered the question, Michael Bush said, we even wish we didn't ask you, but maybe you you have a different perspective
to the question today. Let me say this. The political advisor has made the groundings from that point, but I want to say clearly that in as much as all of these things, if you juxtapose them, the issues, politics here and there, but the biggest in this is the unity project. The biggest in this is the benefit of the Akwa Ibom person and Akwa Ibom people. The biggest in all of the calculations and all of the mathematics and so on, the political mathematics and calculus that's going on, as far as the governor is concerned, are in the interest of Akwa Ibom people and Akwa Ibom people. And that is why you can see where he's going. On February 28th, he led 104-man delegation to meet Mr. President and the presidential villa in Abuja, and took the problems of Akwa Ibom to Mr. President and said to Mr. President, we need you to come help us build our deep sea port. We need you to come help us remediate our environment and our problems. We need you to come to Akwa Ibom, see the things we have done. And follow up to that, a team of very heavy elders in the state moved on under the Akwa Ibom Unity Forum, and then moved ahead to also further appeal to Mr. President to look at those 3 requests that the governor made and so on. So whatever the calculations will be, whatever the issues will be from whatever political party, the governor has only made a pronouncement that he is in support of Mr. President. And rightly so, because we also need Mr. President to help us. He has made that very, very clear. And we will continue to follow him as our leader. We'll continue to look at where he is going, and of course, as the game unfolds, we shall know. And like I did say yesterday, it does not matter whether it is a white bus or green bus, but let us see. As long as we get to the destination that Akwa Ibom succeeds.
Whether it's Ibom Air or Airpeace.
You said that.
All right, so it's time for us to take a break from too much of the grammar we've been blowing ever since we got into the studio. Yesterday, the president at large, Bush House Nigeria, introduced a novelty by bring on board one of us to do a recap of all of that which the Honorable Commissioner was asked our guest yesterday said. Today we want to take that novelty to the next level by giving in-house translator in chief. I don't know if he has other designations, but he's a fantastic BBO speaker, and he's an author. He's a director here. It is Sylvanus Agban. Sylvester Agban. Sylvanus Manin. So Tangwaru Kanyan. I first see Bonnie Bam, Tangaba, two for more. Governor Moina, don't get ready.
Ukankin is only them. Frame you did it. I'm going to talk to you, Dr. Kusinua, for the young Maudi Yoke, the Adanamutang war of Fubu, everybody on this song, Taramuda Company, Lucenua, Adelita. My makeup say, Bruno, we write down. E perché kana vanno per mai che kuru che se kama noi du como ndiong che mu wa sen tang ebene yara gurin e go kan na sai ebene yara gurin e go kumi akwa na ya ira ban ko fo ro ko wo wi kan ni tang fan boi mai pe bi tang ke di ma fu bu kan ra ko ra akpam po se awi ba tang ngpong e kamba ni kamni e kamba dai wuru fo utumo usani tu Honorable Commissioner ni kan mana ma pa mbong Ntokure tadi tiempan Dr. Godwin Tokure ansino adai wuru karang ini tim asang-asang item ke fangu berukara itu go boro-boro itu iji ko ibiodo berukara ammo wi ba me dianu yetang ngpom mo ne ke tang pa bun tum tiung ke dai wuru karangin ben edi diana ke adi kem berukara go agui bogo ke ruso Koro ma bai dai che se che rompe mi fu cavo chi vi chi me udumina me bugunam ete eruso uso che kererie uso mai chi nie ndor title ndor ngene bu ke bo ake bi iriru takbut ke se roron sama mai chi nie ke roron sam uni udum awi mo no ke sa uso ini ye kenyang fu ni ye kenyang ado kiri kon to ba ke yu kara aranya ni ba mi ke pakutong borisio namanya mana mem mana ke mu de me amana do se fre ga wi idian na ke dian ni no wo sa ka wo bu o di ngo sa swang wo bu ru ke me dia dian nan tai bu dian na mi tai bu mbo to ko ta de man sang amana tang wo kem po ne ke ya kana ma run dum biong ke government nyem ke so wo bun dum te pa to ke fre fen po siri dong ke siu bo ferem fu fre fen bo ferem fu ke pe nam baka ke tumba ki ba a tu wang de me sam fu i wang de me sa ku kara nye me ne ke no so nda e bo ke ma ni dai sa mo me bu tek ke nu a so ngada bu fin to wang be ne sa ba ka to kendo ni se ra dia u ri fen bo ke se ri ku ra i ko fre bo ti ro bong ke i ri ngon se bo a ke mi kama to nye yo ke para mu kan nu dem go no fon ku ru a do pe ra ki wang e sam fo ma nu yo ko sa bu nam na ma u de pe de e ma ne tang abai ko mo so ke tang ko so ban de ngoru yang ben wot e bo dok mu tu ku se wet anye dai bu ru kara ma tang abu ki ko ra ro ri kom bu no wu abu ko ke e ka u dong tu se na ma ayanga ke wi si ba i bo ke ba film ke si no tu se na ma kem wi ri bo ku ro be ya ro se ki ri do ki wan di mo i wo tu ke mu u se ne yo so ai tang ken ke u kang na bo wa se bi tang ke ru fang ba ki ba no mo no ma ni tang ko ba ke me de ya ma ni bu mo nu we di ngo me di yo ku fa no fa ni ba ma ru ke mi san e kwa na fong ku ri sen nda ro na mo wi ba nye me tang san na nga ba ro ya min so ndi ben everybody ngeri gbo ngang bong ya ma na ku bin tu min so so ya fo no kang ni so mi de
so you temme. Okay, so that's been a fantastic translation of all of that which has transpired in the last almost 2 hours ever since we started this second day of this special media adventure, a very deliberate and intentional attempt by Bush House Nigeria in collaboration with the Ministry of Information, Akwa Ibom State, to take stock of the last 2 years, almost 2 years. It's going to be precisely 2 years on the 29th of this month since Akwa Ibom people elected Pastor Umo Eno as the governor of Akwa Ibom State. And the story has been mind-blowing. The development strides have according to those who have come to communicate what he has done, dots the entire landscape of the state, and this is only a tip of what's to come as we continue with this series. Okay, so Mr. Savanos all right, so as we get set to round off, Honorable Commissioner, so this is the second day. I'm sure I asked Sapawan a while ago about optics, about feedback from the people, about the kind of reactions that you get as a government about what the governor has done in almost 2 years. And I like to also let that question reverberate from your end, because you are the chief spokesperson for the government, and when you communicate, it's only to be expected that for that communication to be effective, to have gotten to it, to have achieved its purpose, there's got to be some feedback. How has the feedback been like?
Yeah, thank you very much, Itoro. I want to say that the feedback we've gotten so far has been very tremendously positive. And I can say this from a standpoint of authority, because we interact, and we're always like the gateway. We get so much feedback coming in. We have our hotline systems, and then we have a feedback mechanism that we gather. We have monitoring officers, people who monitor radio, television, and then of course we have people in every local government area and every department of government. So we have our ears on the ground, and the feedback has been very positive and very tremendous. The people are very excited with the governor. They are so happy that they have a governor that can connect with the people. First, I said it yesterday. A governor who can feel the people, and the people can feel him. I recall only last Saturday, there's a young man and a young lady who wedded at All Nations Church in Naked. In fact, the governor was so busy that he almost, but he said he needed to make them, that he gave them that date. That he will be wondering what these children will be feeling like if he missed that function, that he could just cause a dislocation in their thought processes. He had to suspend everything and touch that place to give them that honor. That is what he does to people everywhere he goes. So the feedback has been tremendous. So who will not give a positive feedback when you are getting grants that you never expected? Who will not give a positive feedback when you are getting empowerment that you did not expect? When you saw what happened at Uyo Township Stadium the other day, you saw the multiplicity of brand new vehicles that were distributed all over these states to people, minibuses, cars, all brand new to people? Who will not be happy when the elderly people are being taken care of? Who will not be happy when our elders are taking 50,000 a month as old age benefits, 600 of them every month? Who will not be happy when educational system working, healthcare system is growing by the day? The people are happy for this, and they're encouraging the governor to do more, and he will continue to do more for the people. What can I say? It's for the people to continue to pray for the governor, continue to support him, continue to stand by him, so that he will continue to do the best he can do for Akwa Ibom as he is doing.
All right. Parting shots from Dr. Godwin Tugude. As you say, your parting shots paint a picture of what campaigns in 2027 will look like, going by what the governor has already done on whatever platform he chooses to run.
Well, thank you very much. All I would want to, join my brother who has already outlined what is expected and what should be, is that for the past 2 years, His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno, PhD, has not failed the people in all the expected, areas of either closeness, project delivery, empathy, compassionateness, interest, discussion. He has not failed the people. He has lived a life that shows, yes, a governor can be accessible and can be reached and can connect.
Okay.
Having therefore said all of that, it has been established that this is one man that has come to save the people, not himself. What am I going to say as my parting shot? My dear people of Akwa Ibom State, the man has never failed you. He has lived for you. I would plead support. I will call for partnership. I will ask that we believe him. We take him as our leader, that if for tomorrow he tells you that this is Samsung phone, you should believe him that it is for the good of Akwa Ibom people, it's for the good of all of us, and it's to move us forward. We hear of the rumors and all the things that are happening. Please stay on focus and await His Excellency Pastor Umo Eno to give you that which is sincere, patriotic, people-centric, for the overall good of Akwa Ibom people and for our tomorrow, so that nobody seizes power from us, because when they seize power from you, they take authority of you. Once they take authority of you, all these myriads of social benefits, political benefits, will not be there.
Thank you for not answering the question I asked. Incidentally, I take it back. So it's an afterthought. I didn't need to have asked that. Maybe we should be talking about the remaining 2 years of this administration and leave 2027 for 2027.
That's even the more reason. I want to assure you that all the plans as in outlined in the Arise agenda will be taken successfully till 2027. And if he has done this in 2 years, you can imagine what will happen in 2 years.
I bet that we rise even as we invite the president at large, Bush House Nigeria, who was magnanimous enough to have yielded his seat to the Honorable Commissioner, who had promised that he would always be almost a delegate here, and who actually came back. So
thank you, thank you, Precious Okeje, thank you, Uboro Basitom, and thank you, Daniel Ekbo. Thank you, Honorable Commissioner Information, the Right Honorable Anekan Umana. Thank you, Sylvanus Akpan, and thank you, political advisor to the governor to the governor of Akwa Ibom State, that is Prince Godwin Tugude, PhD. Itero Kolumba. My name is Michael Bush.
Goodbye. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
The Honorable Commissioner for Agriculture is live here. Please stay tuned.
Over 200 units of compassionate homes, hundreds of kilometers of roads covering all local government areas, over 10,000 entrepreneurial equipment and tools to MSMEs, 5 billion naira worth of grants to farmers and traders, over 60 billion gratuity arrears to retired civil servants cleared, acquisition of brand new aircraft for Ibom Air, advancement of work on Ibom Deep Seaport, donation of 150 units of 2-bedroom flats to 150 civil servants, advancement of work on Ibom Tropicana hotels and 5,000-seater international conference center, primary healthcare renaissance, launch of state health insurance scheme and quick response statewide ambulance services, establishment of the center for the elderly, construction of a 200-bed hospital within the state medical corridor. These and more are the huge strides of Governor Umo Eno in less than 2 years. They are realities because of your tax. Much more can be achieved if only you continue to pay your tax. Have you paid your tax? This message is courtesy Macrae Trust International Limited for the Akwa Ibom State Internal Revenue Service.
Financial Services Regulation Coordinating Committee FSRCC, in collaboration with the National Broadcasting Commission NBC, wishes to draw the attention of the public to the worrisome increase in the activities of illegal financial operators IFOs, which threaten public trust and the stability of the Nigerian financial system. The FSRCC and NBC hereby advises the general public to refrain from dealing with unlicensed financial operators who deceive individuals with unrealistically high investment returns. Make sure to verify the licensing status of such companies and schemes on this website. To report any suspicions of illicit financial activities, call